Hello. Okay, so I wanted to go live or just do a video about the importance of breastfeeding. I'm writing like a little paper about it, so I was like, oh, why don't I just make a video? So I'm going to be talking about the importance of breastfeeding, but this is not to shame anyone who needs to do formula, doesn't want to breastfeed, or anything like that. Formula is definitely needed. It was created for a reason. So I definitely don't want anybody to feel shamed or bad if they chose formula or formula was chosen for them. They have to do it. But this is also, I'm mainly making this video to encourage those who are kind of on the fence. Also educate those who will be breastfeeding, some of the benefits and things like that. And yeah, so if you're going to be formula feeding, you don't need to watch this if you know what you're going to be doing. But for those of you who will be breastfeeding, this video is for you or anybody out there who just needs some encouragement or just some education on it. Because I am a breastfeeding educator. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the importance of breastfeeding, why it's important for baby, why is it important for mom, how it helps mom's life, and how it helps the community. So I'm going to be talking about those few things, and I'm going to try to keep this video short. So why is breastfeeding important for baby? So first of all, I'm going to talk about colostrum. So colostrum is that first milk that comes in, and it's still breast milk, but it has a different consistency, and it's more, I guess you would say, potent than when your milk comes in like 2 to 3 days later when you're going to feel engorged. So colostrum is really important for that first the first feed that the baby is going to have for that first day or two, because baby's immune system is so immature. So colostrum is a little bit thicker, and it has a lot of proteins in it. It has a lot of fat. It has a ton of antibodies and lymphocytes and immune cells that's going to help boost up baby's immune system and help them prevent them from getting certain diseases and things like that. And I still need to do some more research on breast milk and coronavirus. So I've heard different things, but I want to get like the facts and bring that to you guys. So yeah, so colostrum has a ton of antibodies, which is going to help keep baby safe and strong immune wise. Also, colostrum it's like kind of like a natural laxative for them, so they can encourage them to have that first poop, which is needed. That first poop is going to be like kind of black and tarry. It's called meconium, and that you need them to also excrete waste. So breast milk is also helping them with that, to get that waste out, get any toxins out of their body, like they're just coming into the world, get any toxins out of their body, prepare their body for being in this new world, starting their life, that first poop. So that's what breast milk colostrum is good for. So it's always good to start them off with that too. Also, breast milk for babies helps prevent a whole bunch of, or even sometimes preventing and also reducing the risk of so many diseases like allergies. A huge reduction. A lot of times all of these is at least 50% reduction in the risk of getting these things. So allergies, asthma, eczema, obesity, leukemia, so some cancers, what else? Like either like dermatitis and like gut issues and enterocolitis, if I'm pronouncing it right. A whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of things. So that list can go on and on. And the last thing that it can help in preventing is SIDS, so sudden infant death. A lot of parents are worried about. Breastfeeding and breast milk can help. And you're like, how? Well, because mom is getting up to feed baby so often, or they're feeling engorged like every 2 hours or 3 hours when they're asleep at night, they're getting up and checking on baby a little bit more. So that's where that correlation comes in, not necessarily the milk itself necessarily. It does help prevent against lower respiratory infections and things like that, but mom is just getting up a little bit more to check on baby. So that was where that came in. So that's how it's important for baby. How does this help moms? So yes, breastfeeding does help moms as well, helping in terms of reducing risk for diseases as well. So breastfeeding can help reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, I was reading. And it was saying it was helping to increase glucose metabolism. So just helping out with that. So there was a little bit of decrease with that. Also, it was helping with weight loss. So with breastfeeding, you're burning like 300 to 500 calories. So, and provided that you're not just eating it back, way over that it is going to help a little bit with weight loss as well. It's said breastfeeding is said to be help reduce the risk of breast cancer and ovarian cancer, which I thought was like, wow. So with breast cancer, breastfeeding helps with reducing that risk because when you're pregnant and in postpartum, when you're breastfeeding, so even pregnancy as well, you're shedding like some of the breast tissue, and with that, it was getting rid of some of the DNA, the damaged DNA with the breastfeeding. They were saying, so it was helping reduce that risk there. And then with ovarian cancer, breastfeeding delays or slows down like ovulation sometimes. So that was the link there. Yeah, so it was like the studies, there was a lot of studies, and they were saying if mom was breastfeeding for at least 12 months, it helped reduce the risk of some of these cancers. So I thought that was pretty interesting, like for like at least like 60% reduction in the risk of like pre-menopausal breast cancer. And then, so that's how it can help mom. So how does this help mom's life and just life in general? How does breastfeeding help mom in her life? So breastfeeding helps with bonding. Not that you can't bond with your baby when you're formula feeding or bottle feeding or whatever, but it's just a different type of bond. So the baby's just close at your breast, close to you. It's just a different type of bond. So that's one, like another bonding thing. Breastfeeding can help with just that closeness, and reduces like the time that you have to spend washing bottles and cleaning bottles and sterilizing bottles and buying formula and stuff like that. And just with that, it saves money. So formula ain't cheap. So if you didn't know that, just walk into a store and say, how much is this formula? You're gonna be shocked. It's expensive. I don't know how people do it. Some people have to, obviously. So once again, not shaming, but it's expensive. And I'm sure some people get stipends and things like that. But for some people who don't get stipends, that's expensive. And I was looking up like the cost of how much it would be to feed baby for like a year, and it's like between $2,000 and $3,000. Babies typically eat like 25 ounces per day, and that changes, it varies, but like at 25 ounces a day, how much is in that can? And it came up to like $2,000 to $3,000 with the cost of like the bottles and this and that. So yeah, it's pretty expensive. So saves time, saves money, bonding, and that sort of thing. And the last thing I want to talk about is how does breastfeeding help the community? So breastfeeding helps the community with kind of what I was talking about before, with just reducing the risk of so many of these diseases in baby's life and in mom's life. So that helps just our community in general, less diseases and less things like that. It helps the economy with, saving money. It helps with the environment, so less plastic and less containers for those formulas. And I'm all about the environment, so it helps save money. Helps the environment and eco-friendly, no cans and things like that. And I'm sure they're coming out with better things to store the formula in, but generally it's just going to be the cans and the plastic and things like that, less bottles and all of that. So that's just another thing. And also it's just quick and easy, so you could just do it on the go. So that helps with community too. So I was reading, like, if there's like an emergency and like say there's a fire or a natural disaster, or for whatever reason, like you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you have no bottles, no clean water, you got your breast milk. It's always there. It's always at the right temperature for baby, helping baby just like that. So those are kind of all the things I wanted to touch on about why breastfeeding is important for mom, baby, community, and just life in general. So that's all I wanted to say, and I hope that was just either eye-opening or helpful on your journey in breastfeeding, or if you were on the fence, that maybe it gave you some more ideas of whether or not you want to. And if you happen to be formula feeding and watching this, I hope it maybe just opened your eyes to like, oh wow. But once again, not shaming anybody. You got to do what you got to do. But I am out here, just so you know, breastfeeding educator. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm trying to normalize it because it's not normal everywhere to breastfeed. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And all right, bye. Thanks for watching.